Good to have you with us tonight, folks. Thanks for watching. Mitt Romney is following up his debate performance in Denver last week by introducing the country to the new Mitt Romney. The new Mitt Romney is not the candidate we've seen for the last couple of years. Last week, Romney lied about his policies on taxes, education, and health care. Today, the candidate's foreign policy positions went under the knife during a speech at the Virginia Military Institute. Romney laid out a complete reversal on his strategy for Mideast peace.
I'll recommit America to the goal of a democratic, prosperous Palestinian state living side by side in peace and security with the Jewish state of Israel.
The new Mitt Romney is totally committed to a two-state solution in Israel, but this is not what Mitt Romney told a group of wealthy donors in private.
And I look at the Palestinians not wanting to see peace anyway, for political purposes, committed to the destruction and elimination of Israel, and these thorny issues, and I say there's just no way. And so what you do is you say you move things along the best way you can, you hope for some degree of stability, but you recognize this is going to remain an unsolved problem. We look at that in China and Taiwan. All right, we have a potentially volatile situation, but we sort of live with it. And we keep the ball down the field and hope that ultimately somehow something will happen and resolve it.
Priceless tape, isn't it? Direct from Romney's mouth. You hope for some stability. You hope something will happen. Listen to the new Mitt Romney today in his opinion on hope.
I know the president hopes for a safer, freer, and more prosperous Middle East allied with us. I share this hope. But hope is not a strategy.
Well, the new Mitt Romney doesn't even flinch when he makes a blatantly false accusation.
I'll champion free trade and restore it as a critical element of our strategy, both in the Middle East and across the world. The president has not signed one new free trade agreement in the past 4 years. I'll reverse that failure.
Romney's correct. The president has not signed one new trade agreement. In fact, the president of the United States has signed 3 new trade agreements. He did it last year with bipartisan support from Congress. The new Mitt Romney hopes you forgot about those trade agreements, just like he hopes you forgot about his own position on foreign aid.
I'll make further reforms to our foreign assistance to create incentives for good governance, for free enterprise, and for greater trade in the Middle East and beyond. I'll rally our friends and our allies to match our generosity with theirs.
This will come as a surprise to our allies. Previously, Mitt Romney took his cues from foreign aid from Rick Perry.
One of the things we have to do with our foreign aid commitments, the ongoing foreign aid commitments, I agree with Governor Perry. You start everything at zero.
Another strategy of the new Mitt Romney is to keep things deliberately vague. This week marks the 11th year of the war in Afghanistan. Romney took heat for not mentioning Afghanistan during his convention speech. But the new Mitt Romney finally has a position on the war.
In Afghanistan, I'll pursue a real and successful transition to Afghan security forces by the end of 2014.
That just happens to be the exact same position of the current president of the United States, this guy named Barack Obama. Romney didn't offer any additional specifics, so it's hard to tell if he has really any disagreement with the president over Afghanistan. The same goes for Iran.
I'll put the leaders of Iran on notice that the United States and our friends and allies will prevent them from acquiring nuclear weapons capability.
If you believe the new Mitt Romney, he's going to prevent Iran from getting a nuclear weapon, President Obama says the same thing. But Mitt Romney doesn't say how he will prevent Iran from getting a nuclear weapon. He also doesn't tell you who is advising him on all of these matters. One of his foreign policy advisors is former Bushie John Bolton, who never bet a bomb he couldn't launch. Earlier this year, Bolton told Fox News the better way to prevent Iran from getting nuclear weapons is to attack its nuclear weapons program directly. Oh boy. Another Romney advisor, here's a dandy, is former Bush State Department official Robert Joseph. Joseph, now you're wondering, where do we know this guy from? Well, he's been calling for an attack on Iran since 2006. Oh yeah, you also might remember that Robert Joseph as the guy who told President Bush to use a false story about Iraq and uranium and just put it in the State of the Union address. Then there's Romney advisor Elliot Cohen, who says Romney wouldn't rule out sending troops to Libya. Anybody in favor of that? It's no wonder Romney's foreign policy got a thumbs up from Donald Rumsfeld, who tweeted, "Terrific, comprehensive speech by Governor Romney. He knows America's role in the world should be a leader, not as a spectator." Wow. The new Mitt Romney's closing remarks came right out of the Bush-Cheney neon playbook, folks. Vote for us or we're going to get attacked again.
America's security and the cause of freedom cannot afford 4 more years like the last 4 years.
Mitt Romney will not let Americans know what his real policies are. It's the Bush administration all over again, especially when it comes to foreign policy. How's that sit with you? Even Obama advisor Robert Gibbs and Newt Gingrich can agree on how Mitt Romney will say anything to get elected.
Mr. Speaker, you mentioned that your opponent, Mitt Romney, had a problem with being dishonest in the primary. My question is, was he dishonest when he said that?
I think it's clearly changed.
Romney's positions have clearly changed. The only path to the White House is for voters to pretend the changes never happened. Get your cell phones out. Want to know what you think tonight. Tonight's question.